Okay, we're here for the Cal Football Press Conference for Thursday, August 24th. We've got Coach Justin Wilcox with us, and we'll go ahead and take questions. Let me know in the chat if you do have a question. I will call upon you. We'll go ahead and get started with Jeff Ferrato for Coach Wilcox. Go ahead, Jeff.
Good morning, Justin. Can you explain to us your process in selecting Sam Jackson, the fifth, as your starting quarterback, and kind of what went into that?
Yeah, it was an intense battle the last month. I think all three of those guys we feel confident with, and all three of them improved. The last couple weeks, it's been, again, very, very competitive. And I think Sam really took a step forward in the last 2 weeks, just his command of the offense, the decision-making, threw the ball accurately, and he can do some unique things because of his athleticism. But we have confidence in all those guys, but Sam has earned the right to start, and we're excited to watch him grow with this opportunity.
There was some suggestion a few days back that you might play more than one in the first game. Is that still on the table, or is Sam the guy?
Yeah, Sam's the starter, and we want we want to get him out there and get him into a rhythm. All of us, coaches, players, we all got to keep improving, and Sam would be the same, but he's our starter going in, and we're looking forward to getting him out there and getting some rhythm going with our offense.
Okay, and we'll go to Steve Croner from the Chronicle. We would ask that you just ask a single question the first time through, and then we'll take follow-ups the second time around. Go ahead, Steve.
Justin, as a guy with a defensive background, if you were trying to game plan against Sam Jackson, what would make you the most concerned about trying to contain him?
Well, you're gonna have the run pass threat that are designed. When you get into the RPO world, you're gonna have, he does have the ability to throw the ball down the field, and then if the play breaks down, he can extend a play and make something happen with his feet, or buy some time and throw the ball down the field. So, he does. We've played against and prepared for some guys that have some of those similar characteristics, and we know on defense that can be challenging. So, again, he's still a young player, and he's going to continue to grow as a player the more and more experience he gets. But we're excited for him, and like I said before, it was very, very competitive, and we have confidence in all three of those quarterbacks.
Okay, and we'll go to Mia Watchtel from the Daily Cal. Mia.
I know you guys were emphasizing consistency. Do you know, or I guess, what is your opinion on how his consistency has improved over the course of fall camp?
Who are you speaking of?
Sam Jackson.
On Sam? Yeah, I think he got better and better. I think the last two scrimmages showed that, but not just the scrimmages, but the teamwork that we have on a daily basis, the 7-on-7, the decision-making within those team periods. I think that continued to improve, and he did a really good job putting the ball in the end zone. And we track a lot of different things statistically, obviously completion percentage, decision making, what happens with the offense when those guys are on the field. He did a really good job of getting the offense into the end zone, and I thought, again, the last couple of weeks he took another step forward. That's where really boiled down to that. But again, it wasn't an easy decision, and still looking forward to watching Sam grow in this role.
Okay, we'll go to Matt Moreno from Rivals. Go ahead, Matt.
Feels like Sam is a pretty well-liked guy on the team. How important is it to have a guy that a player that everyone else can rally around, especially at that quarterback position?
Yeah, I mean, it's everybody's got to be themselves, and so you want people to be genuine and not try and be something they're not, and so you have to do it in your own way. And I don't know that there isn't one way, but I think he's built a good rapport with the team, and he's still, like I said, he's a younger player. He doesn't have a ton of experience, and he's fairly new to our program, and so I think he's just going to continue to grow, on the field, off the field, and that's what we're looking for.
Okay, we'll ask if anybody else has a first round question before we start with any follow-ups. If you do, let me know. We'll go ahead and go to Michael Wagaman from Bear Insider for a first round question.
Hey, Justin, I know part of the thing with Sam was getting him to kind of stay more in the pocket, rely on what he does there rather than breaking out and scrambling using his natural talents. How much better is he? How much more comfortable do you think he is staying in the pocket as opposed to the guy who first came on campus?
Well, I think there's layers to that question. There are times when you want to get to your first or second read, maybe your third in the pass progression, but there's also times we want to make sure and utilize Sam and his athleticism, whether it's stepping forward in the pocket and running, stepping forward to get out and, keep passing grip and be ready to throw the ball down the field on an extended play. So we're not trying to turn Sam into, a statue back there because, one of the things he does really well is create with his feet and get into the flow of the game. And, if there is an off schedule play or if it's an RPO play where he can use his feet, we want to be able to utilize that, but he can throw the ball. He throws it well. And so I think just taking that step in the pass game has been good. And we've seen that in the last couple of weeks, especially. But like I said before, we're not going to try and, put Sam in a box and make him stand back there and 7-step drops and never break the pocket because he can do some really good things once he starts running.
Okay, we'll go to Thomas Dunn from Right for California.
Good morning, Justin. There was some talk of going out of the area in order to adjust for some heat-related situations. I'm curious whether you found a viable alternative and how effective the guys were at adjusting for that.
We did. We had planned to do that this last Monday and Tuesday. However, the weather wasn't as cooperative. It had cooled down considerably in our local area, places that we can bus to. But we do have a practice scheduled this Saturday where we should get some significant heat.
Okay, we'll go ahead. Anybody else with a first round question? Okay, we'll go back for follow-ups with Jeff Ferrato. And if you do have follow-ups here, feel free and go ahead. Thank you, Jeff.
Justin, if you had to go to a different quarterback for whatever reason, injury, whatever, who would be the next guy?
Yeah, some of that will be determined here in the next week or so. We're still working through that. Both those guys, I think Ben and Fernando have done a really good job. And we'll have a plan going into the game, but we're not going to disclose that right yet.
If I can follow with a question about a different player, Caleb Elarms, or is listed as a starter. I'm not sure he's actually ever played in a game for you, but can you talk about what he's shown you in spring and in summer camp here?
Yeah, I would say Caleb and Tron Grizel are the two most improved guys from a year ago to right now. Caleb has taken a huge leap and physically, but also just learning to play that position. He's put a lot of time into this. It's been evident. It shows in his play. He's still a pretty young and inexperienced player, but I think he's going to do some really good things. He's got some great tools physically, and he loves it. I mean, he's into football, and the jump he has made is significant, and that's a credit to him and also Pete Sermon. I mean, that's impressive what he's done to this point. Now we're looking forward to watching him do it in a game.
Is this something you've seen coming?
Well, you always hope. I mean, that's why you recruit guys like Caleb. He was a really good high school player locally here. He came in, he had an injury, unfortunately, right prior to getting here. But he's really put in a lot of time off the field, weight room, developing, rehab, and then in the meeting room. I mean, Caleb is up here all the time. I mean, he is watching tape. He's, sitting in there, buzzing through things. He wants to be good. And then, you know, physically, he's developed. I mean, he is a very impressive guy physically. And that's, you know, when you put those two things together, you have a chance to be pretty good. And like I said, he's fairly inexperienced, but I would expect him to go out and play well.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go to Steve Kroner from the San Francisco Chronicle.
Yeah, Justin, I'm guessing you probably expect this at some point in this news conference. The obligatory question about where Cal stands in the conference realignment saga and how closely you guys are following it and how difficult or easy it has been to keep your focus on what's going on in the field with all the other stuff surrounding it.
Yeah, fair question. I'd be lying if I say I wasn't paying attention. Of course, I'm paying attention to it. I see and hear a lot of what you see and hear. I don't have anything to report. Quite honestly, I'm really anxious to find out. But at the same time, as you know, I mean, I have to step back. We all do and focus on the task at hand, which is get ready for North Texas, because that's what we have control over right now. Obviously, we want to play at the highest level, compete at the highest level we possibly can, and really looking forward to hearing what that next step is.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go back to Mia Watchtel with the Daily Cal.
Can you talk a little bit about the work you put in during the offseason and fall camp to earn the starting spot at quarterback?
Sam, a lot of guys put in a ton of work. I mean, and he's one of them. I mean, it's not just practice. You know, we have a certain amount of time that we can spend with them in spring practice, for example. Also in spring with meetings, you know, we get a little bit of time with them. Fall camp, we get a lot more time with them. And so we utilize that time as coaches with the players, but there's also quite a bit that happens, you know, on their own, and they take ownership in that and watching tape and studying. And, you know, most really good players spend more than you know, just the mandatory time, and that's what it takes to be good. And Sam is, like a lot of our players, is one of those guys that spends time outside of what's required here so they can, you know, then improve and better themselves.
And what do you consider your particular strengths that will help this offense?
Well, we're going to find out. You know, it's a new style of play for us. It's been a lot of fun. We've run a lot of plays this fall. We practice a lot of team 11 on 11. I think, you know, we have some more starts and more experience at that O-line group. The tight ends, I think, have taken a step this fall, and the receiver group is going to be a lot of guys playing. You know, we have a number of guys that are going to be rotating through there. I'm excited for Sam. Jade Knott, we know, is a very, very talented player, but there's going to be a couple other backs that get in there too. So I'm really looking forward to preparing and getting down and kicking off this season to watch us grow, because we're going to need to continue to improve. It's not like you get to the season and all of a sudden you're the same team week to week. We're going to need to continue to improve throughout the season, not only on offense, but on defense and in special teams.
Okay, we're going to go to Matt Moreno from Rivals.
What did Barrett show to earn that starting nod at left tackle, and what kind of challenge was it to kind of come up with that top 5 group?
Yeah, Barrett did a really nice job. You know, he had been dinged up a little bit coming in, but man, he's a really sharp guy. He's tough. He's got good size. He's played a lot. I think he was pretty natural moving over there, you know, to that left tackle spot. And so really pleased with what Barrett's done. I still think Braden Rome's improved from where he was a year ago. You know, Brian Driscoll had a really good camp. Wyckoff improved. Obviously, we know what Sindo can do. He's been here a long time. I think Siawape, Bastion Swinney is another guy that's showed significant improvement this camp, and TJ has had a real solid camp. So it came together here in the past week and a half or so, but we got a starting 5, but we're going to be counting on more than 5 guys as we get into the season.
Okay, we'll go to Thomas Dunn from Wright for California.
So Noah Williams locked up one starting cornerback position, but can you speak to the battle between Jeremiah Irby and Lou Hearns and how Lou separated himself in the end?
Yeah, honestly, they're both going to play. Like them both, they're both going to play. I think it's listed as an order there, isn't it? Where are we at? Yeah. So I think they're different styles, Lou and Jeremiah, but I think both of them have shown improvement, and I'm looking forward to watching them go compete.
And I'd be remiss if I didn't ask the obligatory question. Are there any new injuries to report? And if you had a status update on Nate Ruchina?
Yeah, nothing new to report. And Nate, we would expect back. We're hopeful that it's sooner than later. I mean, that's between he and the sports med staff. But he did not practice today, and I wouldn't say he'll practice this weekend either. So we'll see.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go back to Jeff Ferrado.
Justin, can you sort of give your big picture view of what the transfer portal has meant to this team in terms of all the guys you brought in? You're plugging in quite a few of them into either starting roles or guys who are going to be in the rotation.
Yeah, significant. I didn't count them, but we could count them real quick if you wanted to. A lot of them. A number of guys that are going to help us as starters, rotational players. We've been very fortunate to find some real good players, and also just good guys who have really taken to the team. And it's been it's just a new era, and it's different. You have so many new faces from where we were a year ago, but it's exciting too, because the dynamics change, the competitiveness certainly increased at a number of spots, and then the personalities. And so you kind of learn who you're going to be, but it's not dull, and it's been enjoyable to watch those guys come in and work and gain the respect of their teammates. And there's a bunch of them who are going to help us.
Do you imagine you'll recruit this many people out of the portal going forward, or is this just happen to be you had certain needs that you filled?
That's a great question. And I think that's one that we'll always be evaluating, now during the season and after the season. I think that's just something that you're constantly going to be monitoring. So it'd be hard to speculate right now, Jeff. I think it's just so many dynamics in play.
Thank you.
Okay, if you guys do have final questions, let us know in the chat. We've got time for a couple more, but let me know now if you do. Go to Steve Croner from the Chronicle.
Hey, Justin, I think it's fair to say the first 4 years or so of your tenure at Cal, you really set a high standard for your defense, and the defense, for the most part, played really well. The last year or two, I don't think it quite reached the standard of those first 4 years. Why will this team reach the standard that you had set earlier in your tenure?
Yeah, well, it's a simple formula, but it's not easy. You got to be good up front. It starts up front with the big guys, and we're going to play a number of different guys in there. Playing the run game, tackling is always going to be key. And then two things that we got to do a great job of, where we weren't great a year ago, is limiting those explosive passes. And that's everybody now. That's the rush. That's the underneath coverage. That's certainly the secondary. And then taking the ball away and creating more opportunities for our offense. So, it's run game, being physical, tackling guys, limiting those big plays, and then taking the ball away when you have opportunities. Those are really that's the formula. And it's simple in concept, but it's hard to do. So we're excited to watch this group come together. And as I mentioned before, we're going to have to get better, each and every week, and not stay the same. But I know it's a highly motivated group.
Okay, anybody else with the final question for Coach? Okay, thanks for joining us. We'll have Sam Jackson here at 11:30. Thank you.
Thanks.